Today we're going to go over how to do some minor repairs to our MC3 standalone anesthesia ventilator. So we're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, probably a P2 and a P1. And let's start taking the cover off. So first thing we're going to do is, you want to be mindful of your knob here, so when you're tilting the unit, you don't want to smash anything. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the 6 screws for the bellows housing bracket. Screws. Okay, so the next round of screws are going to be for the display. So we're going to take 3 here. That'll be a smaller screwdriver, potentially a P1. And there are also 4 screws at the bottom as well. So let's go ahead and get those removed. Top here turned over, and we've got 7 screws to remove from the very back of the case. All right, now we got all the screws out. Let's carefully flip this back over, and that's going to allow us to slide the cover off. So one of the reports that we had was that these ports for our flow sensor probe, flow sensor head, however you want to refer to it. Okay. All right, so one of the reports we had, and the reason for this video, is that the flow sensor ports had come loose from inside, so they were kind of basically hanging out of the back. There are lock nuts on the inside here, so we're going to go over how to tighten those and reattach these like they should. So let's go ahead and get into how we get these back to being secure. So from the inside, we're looking at our 2 ports here. This is our oxygen sensor port. So we want to be careful. There's a lot of cables in here, things that we can break. So I am actually going to remove the O2 cell receptacle here. That'll give us a little bit more room to work on reattaching the sensor ports. O2 cell receptacle out of here. Now, once you loosen that nut a little bit, there's actually this blue piece screws off the front side, so you can just pull it out. You don't have to unhook anything. I'll put that blue on there so I don't lose it. So now that gives us just a little bit more access without breaking anything. Okay, so I have taken off the rubber tubing from this side. I kind of start fresh. So, without the lock nut, you can actually pull the port through and potentially the tubing with it. So first thing we want to do is reinsert, put our So here, let me do this. So basically we're going to do this, but with the frame of the vent in there. So we'll put that through like so. Let's go ahead and spin that. All right, so now that I have it in there, we're going to go ahead and put a pair of needle nose on each side, and so we can tighten that up. So essentially what I'm going to do now is secure the outside. And then I'm going to hold on to the nut, and I'm just going to turn one or the other. And just make it as snug as you want. I don't want to bear down on it, but you can make this pretty tight. So I'm going to go ahead and take the tubing off there as well. Again, we are going to get that retention nut on there. Go ahead, hold that. All right, so both of those are nice and snug. Now, the longer, so if you're coming off this, this is our transducer that gives us our pressure and also our spirometry. So the teed one goes to the far side, and that would be the clear inlet if you were looking at the outside. I'm just going to clean the edge of that hose up, insert it, and make sure I get that hose the whole way over the nipple. And then go ahead and take our short guy here, and that goes to what would be the equivalent on the blue tubing on the outlet. So as you can see, we've got these are nice and secure. Our tubing's on this side. Our lock nuts are nice and secure. So I'm going to take the blue retaining ring off. I'm going to go ahead and insert that. And the other thing is, you'll notice that this is flat on the sides, which will match the shape of the hole here. And we also want to have our keyway, the little groove there, facing towards the top. So we're going to go ahead and put that in. So the blue one's going to just go on snug. It's plastic, so don't bear down on that. And if that's on good, then we'll just come in behind that and just give a little turn to the metal ring. Everything seems secure there. So we're ready to button up the top again, and we'll just reverse the process we just went through. All right, so reverse. Going to just gently slide this on, and it takes a little coaxing to get it back into place. Typically like to deal with the bottom ones first. And so that's what we're going to do. So we'll put these final 3 in here, and then we'll put the bellow housing bracket back on. And so we have to take that off to access these 3, which isn't a big deal. So now we're going to go ahead and put the top bracket back on. One is, see if you're double angled, is the one that goes towards the front. And you don't have to don't bear down on these. Just snug is good. So there's how to tighten up the ports, potentially replace the O2 receptacle